as we first demonstrated the value of data, then our private sector partners kicked in and said, yes, we need this, and this is the way to formulate your policy. It's based on good data. We were just as interested in how people use data and their ability to use data, not just the workforce people, but economic development people, community people. So we, as a part of our Economic Development 101 series, one of those series was based on, we had 101, 102, 103, where we brought all the partners together, and one of those was targeted toward how do you interpret data and what's important if you just in your decision-making process.
There's a very deep focus on understanding the industry and understanding what the intelligence of the industry can tell us. And so there's a emphasis on going beyond what the skills gaps are to understanding what the trends are, what the technology is, what's coming in the future, so that workforce can be planned for both the current period of time as well as the future. Our Center for Workforce and Information Analysis does a lot of analysis, labor market analysis of the different industries. And that information is available on the website, and it's done in a way that's user-friendly, so that the constituents can actually access that information. But we also really encourage industry partnerships to do analysis at a regional level, and several regions have created various tools for doing that, and so there's an emphasis on sharing of best practice.
The minute you start to look at Minnesota's economy, you realize that there's very, very different economies under one state banner, and that anything you do in terms of labor market information really has to be customized to fit those regional concerns. So it was just a very natural kind of thing for us to realize that in order to help that particular region, we need people who understand that region deeply and who live in the region and who can really work with the workforce boards, the colleges, businesses, adult basic ed, anybody and everybody. And so that's been very important. Certainly, I think the state demographer and the state economist, for instance, have been big allies for us in doing our sector and cluster work, because they speak about sectors and clusters as a normal part of their efforts. And I think they understand the dynamics of the economy really well. We also have industry specialists who are there, who know as much as possible about an industry area, so they can support the different regions and their different approaches.
The Department of Labor had one map based upon how the regions function, and it was based upon, the analysis was based on commutation patterns and where people work and where they live. Economic development had a different map, and our higher education system had a different map also. One of the front end things we did was align our map, and it took about 6 months. I thought it was pretty straightforward, it'd take about a few weeks. I was wrong. But we stayed at it, and we were able to achieve an alignment based upon data, based upon a clear identification of what regional economies are in our state. That was a very important front-end piece of work. Once we had our regions aligned, then it was easier through a data-driven process to really focus on key industry drivers, key sectors. And we facilitated that by putting some resources out. We had sector grants. The front end was a small $50,000 planning grant that allowed the regions to come to an understanding based upon data as to what those key industry drivers were. We have labor market analysts that are assigned to each of our regions. They are often the go-to people for local electeds, for industry, for players in the workforce development system. So in some ways we were well positioned because of the regional structure we have and the fact that we had staffed that with these local labor market analysts, that they became the key providers of data, objective data, that was used to inform the conversations and the movement towards sector strategies.